Hello everyone, DecadeUltimaGamer here. Welcome back to the season finale of Minecraft Adventures. Yes, I am not lying about this particular episode title. Let's just say a lot of things happened over the course of a lot of months has passed since the last episode, and I've reached a point of not feeling it for this world anymore. And currently right now, just to give you a heads up, I'm currently in my frog-like farm, and I've done a lot. It's been working well, but a lot of things happened that made it non-functional anymore. And it's all because the basalt delta I'm in is nearby a warp forest, and let's just say a lot of endermen have been, shall we say, removing my snow a lot, and I just sealed it off, turning it off for now. And it's been a mess. It's just been one mess in this farm. But I did get a lot of resources, so yeah, lots of resources. But yeah, I've lost a lot of all the frogs, and then I lost all the ice after that one AFK session. So yeah, it's really was a mess. Anyways, episode like this already is, why did I put this in the season finale already? It's been months since the last episode, and honestly, I love the world that I built in. Everything I built so far here. And actually, you can see right now, I'm in a different biome right now. And this is another starter form I created, just so I could start getting some powdered snow, and then try to breed in some frogs here as well. And you can notice that there is a gap, so this particular side is for that particular frog type, and this particular side is for this frog type. It was in between. The third one is a bit farther away from here. I will not show it since it's too far. And yeah, see, a warp forest, and yeah, there was another fortress, and that was the basalt. So yeah, it was a kind of a mess, a bad decision on my end to put the farm there. Lesson learned, of course. Yes, now you might be wondering why my season finale. Well, you know, I've already lost creative ideas for this world. I guess you could say I've put too much pressure on myself. Oh my gosh, it's already raining. Okay. Ironically, for the last episode, it's raining already. Anyways, I'm gonna showcase a lot of stuff. So as you notice, so here's the bee farm I've created, just for the bees, and I was planning to use the wood for this one for the flooring and some of my builds plans. And yes, so this particular episode is basically just me showcasing every build I made, and then I guess that's it. That's the end of the series. Oh man, just ending this is really emotional. Anyways, here's the iron farm that I made with a few episodes. Learned a lot for this one. Lots of mistakes because it's still working. It's just that I realized there's a few mistakes I made with this one, especially the top. But that's something. I mean, you know, learning experience here and there is fine. Now let's go back to the starter home. I made some slight decorative differences here. So yep, you notice there's new carpets and a painting, and then you add on trapdoors in the chandelier with the frog lights, and this added fading. So yeah, and I'm gonna show you something a little bit, because while I was AFKing in my home, I was hearing like an enderman noise, and it turns out this enderman decided to take residence on top of the gaps of this house. And yeah, I put a boat here and made him a permanent resident. I haven't put a name in him. Just gonna let him stay here, be the boogeyman of this house. So yeah, it's fine. You always have to have that one weird thing that's gonna be housing your place, you know that. Alright, so yeah, let's showcase a few more. So yeah, you may have noticed this. I think if you actually were observant to my episodes, you may have noticed this already. I've adopted a lot of cats when I was wandering villagers, and one of them is the prize jelly. Yes, I found a jelly at one point, and I was supposed to put it in another episode for showcasing, but you know, let's just say, yeah, look at that jelly. Hi, jelly. Oh my, how cute this! Every single cat in this game is actually pretty cute. I like it. I like it so much. I left them all here to just relax, see the sun, see the surrounding area. Like this is like at a cat motel, right behind the TV. And there's a remote, just a button. And lots of here's the storage units with a lot of resources I managed to come up with. Oh man, look at that. So I've already fixed up most of it, trapdoors and then frog lights. And this is our forger, and this is from, well, Halloween came by and then I decided to build this inspired by Plants vs Zombies, so sort of a sunflower thing. Right, so let's go down here, and this was supposed to be the last floor of the build, and yeah, you may notice that was the pathway for the item sorters. And that was supposed to be the main entrance, and I was planning to put the bedroom here or here, wasn't sure. And you know, lots of stuff ideas that were so pending. So right, next let's go towards the industrial area. So we are familiar with this area since I've always been coming down here. Haven't really fixed this area, haven't I? See, look at that, lots of frog lights been scattered around. I was planning to put something on it to make sure they don't show up a lot, probably banners or carpets. I haven't figured out how to hide them. It's just more like convenience that they're there, that way I don't have to deal with spawns anymore. Been dealing a lot of Enderman issues, and yes, those creepers have been there for a very long time. You know, note guys, if you're gonna put some boats around, make sure you pick them up immediately and not, you know, I can't remove them. I don't have a bow and arrow to kill them off. And I think there's a cat right next to that creeper too. I didn't want to get near it, so they've been there for a while. I just been, you know, magnum opusing, just left them there. Right, let's check the farm that I built here with the villagers. Oh hello. Oh no, what? See what I mean? Enderman again. I put mods in. I've been trying to put a mod here to prevent them from picking things up, but yeah, no, that's not happening. They keep residing everywhere, so it's so annoying. And this was supposed to be the black market, or I was supposed to, like, yeah, traders hall, where I was gonna post trading here. I never got around to it. Oh no. Right. Let's go to the next one. You notice the building that's right here. Well, I'll show it to you right now. And just to give a little story, why is the doors different? Honestly, I have no idea. I have no idea what happened to the original doors. They just disappeared, and I was just using a replacement door just for, you know, for the sake of replacing. So this is my automatic sheep farm that I have not finished the building with, but yes, it is working. Lots of iron shears and, you know, lots of resources, so it's all filled up to the brim. Really struggling to keep up on where to put them actually. And yeah, here's the thing, after I build this, you may notice the strange color palettes and some like a broken building. Here's the thing, I wasn't sure what I was building when I built this. I wasn't 100% sure. I just built it, but I then just lost the idea of what's supposed to be looking like. The idea was a factory, but it didn't pan out as I would, and I didn't want to destroy it. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna leave it for now until I figure out what to do with it, and I never did. Really sad on my part, because it looks good, but it really wasn't. I think the color palette might have been bad. I think using black stone and deep slate and basalt along with the bamboo really didn't pan out as I was visioning it. So yeah, something to learn as you do these things is color paletting. you need to know what is the type of palette you're supposed to use for your building. So, and yeah, I mean, good to know actually. I've learned a lot when I was starting this series. Didn't realize there was a lot of intricacies in terms of building stuff, and I'm glad I've learned these things. Anyways, we're showing you the slime farm again. The Enderman. My goodness sakes! They really just want to put their stuff there. Alright, well, anyways, let's dive even further to the bottom of the slime farm. And this was supposed to be another base. Basically, my mining base. So basically, I didn't want to keep going back and up just for mining materials or stones or anything like that. I don't want to be stuck here, so I planted a few things, bamboo, to keep sticks around, and I'm just gonna bring down some of my iron supplies, and that's about it. That was the whole purpose of this area, just for me to mine stuff. And then I went down even further, and that way is the staircase, the original staircase that was going down. And I was digging around here and I found this. Yes, and there were a lot of sculpt sensors in it, and you know, have to deal with a lot of mobs to mess with, and then I had to light it up with torches just to prevent the mobs from spawning. So there were a lot of explorations I've done in this area. So this is just a portion of it. I discovered a lot more areas, but I won't showcase it anymore here. So yeah, then let me just go back to a little bit of memory lane here. So let's go to the staircase. See, alright. So this staircase was the original point where I went down. We are at near the 0, and this is where the part where that warden keeps spawning up, and then I finally managed to find the catalyst that keeps spawning that warden and finally destroyed it. Basically, I used Silk Touch to get it and waited until the warden was despawned before I even managed to get it. So it was cool. It was cool. Recorded that as well, but yeah, not showcasing that either. Lots of recorded videos that I will never showcase because either I lost the footage or I've deleted them because I was trying to save space on my drive. It was such. I mean, I got so many recorded footages but the problem was burnout. Really, burnout was a real thing, honestly. And you know, I wasn't inspired to edit the videos or use it because it wasn't good enough for me. And yeah, there was supposed to be the copper farm, where I used the witch and the zombie spawners to get the materials I need. That was supposed to be the idea from Tango Tek. Yeah, Tango Tek did that. But since with the new latest updates, with the child chambers, I probably won't need this anymore. So it's more like I'm gonna have to find trial chambers just to mine copper now. So that's a good thing. Man, just looking at this. You know, I never realized ending the series would actually be more emotional than I realized. Walking around all of this space, knowing fully well I'm not gonna come back here anymore. Really emotional because, you know, I started here. I started the series like this. Anyways, oh, it's nighttime already. Okay, that's good. That's a good way to end things up. Let's go back to this spot. We all know what this spot is. The beginning of the series where I attempted to find every wood type. And honestly, that was probably way too ambitious for a first episode, trying to find every wood block. That probably is one of the many overwhelming tasks I did to myself. I can't really say mistake because, you know, anything is not really a mistake in terms of art and trying to make a video. But for me, I think that was the problem, a lot of it. It stems up by giving myself an overwhelming task and it just keeps piling up and piling up and piling up. It was such a sad thing. Anyways. Before we continue, I have a surprise, and I've been doing this here So yeah, this is a testing world of redstones. So yeah, see this, it's the flying machine. It was actually working. I was surprised that I did this. I tried it myself. I did watch a couple of videos on how to do redstoning, but I'm a practical person. I don't I'm not the type of person who learns from just watching a video. I have to do it myself in order to have an idea how it functions. And honestly, trying to figure out how flying machines work took me quite a while to figure it out, because it's like, how is this working? Why is it working? Whoops, I missed. Anyways, yeah, so this was the second phase of the flying machine, or I was timing it. I think Wattles did this particular one, where he used a sheep or some mob to auto timer it, so to activate it, and I didn't like the idea of putting a mob in there. So I just didn't like that idea. I already engaged it, so the idea was if that sheep presses that trap door, it activates the redstone, which in turn activates this flying machine. But I never liked the idea because it's way too random. So let's try the flying machine. See if it works, but before that, this was the timer. The timer I was experimenting. I believe everyone knows this particular timer where you use like those funnels to activate. So I had to turn it off, that way it will activate it. Then yeah, the flying machine will activate, and then it will activate the observer there, and then it brings out the signal again back on the top to the trap door. I'm not sure if this is I know there should be a much shorter version of this. I call this the spaghetti line, but you know what, it's doing it myself, trying to figure things out, is actually wholesome, because it works, and trying to figure out redstone like this was a eureka moment for me, because like, wow, this how it works, amazing. See, so let's just turn this off. So yeah, so the reason why we have to turn that on is to prevent those items from going back to this one. That will disable the flying machine. So that was the original purpose of that, for that experiment. And then I was experimenting how rails work using the same system, but it never panned out. So the railway just keeps going and going, and I'm not sure, I couldn't figure out why it didn't want to stop. And the items dropped here towards this crafter. Now, I don't know how crafting works, and I don't know how this block works, and I was trying to figure out how it works, and yeah, it didn't pan out as I planned. It was like, I couldn't figure it out. It's like, how does this thing work? And let me show you. I'll put these here, and then let me put the items here. Now it should be activating, right? But no, it didn't. It just, all of them just funnels down there. It's like it didn't work. I don't get it. So yeah, so I have to like figure things out how to do it, and did this, and this one worked. Somehow it worked. So this one works better. So yeah, I think a lot of YouTubers or Minecrafters have already done this one, and I was amazed it actually works. I don't understand how it works yet that well, but I could tell it's just the comparator sends a signal, and then it sends the other signal back to the block that signals the other block, and then the other signal is basically just stopping the signal once it confirms an action has occurred. I think that's it. I'm not sure. So I did the same concept like this, just hopefully it works, but it didn't work. It stopped, and I don't understand why. So yeah, that was sad for me. I just couldn't figure it out. I couldn't replicate that one to this one, and honestly I have no clue what's going on with this. Alright, so yeah, let's see. Alright, this particular one is the railway part where it gets the items I need. Oh no, not that one. Just put these in. So I was experimenting this one, and then let's turn this on. Okay, pick up the items. Here's the problem. It didn't stop. I don't understand why it didn't stop. and it just could it's still flowing the item, but this one is so continuous. I didn't understand why it didn't want to stop. So weird. Redstone is weird in a way. So yeah, and this one I finally figured out how crafter works. I used 2 observers to send a unlimited ticking to itself, and it works. It's just noisy at best, so you may want to have to like make sure to lower down your sound effects if ever. So let's turn this on. See, it works in a sense that, yeah, so as long as the items are filled, it will create the block for me. So it works. It's just noisy. It's basically a noise machine that it doesn't want to stop. And you can't turn, you have to manually turn it off. I don't know how to turn this off manually. That isn't, you know, automatic when there's no items, but yeah, I mean it works. Which brings us to this behemoth. Yes, so combining all 3 ideas, so basically we activate the switch here and it should work, unless something went wrong with the device. So yeah, there we go, the rails are there, so yep, and that should work. Why does the flying machine stop working? Anyways, alright, so yeah, you saw the observers again right there, so activate that. It will send a signal to the crafter, and then this one, another mini crafter for, you know, setting these bamboo planks. So yeah, getting the hint already on what is the build I've done. Right, yeah, I noticed that a few minutes later I've noticed this is not working, and the flying machine broke. Right, this is finale and it broke. Okay, well, not gonna repair this. But let me just show you what happens if the flying machine does work. So it goes here, then it activates those rails, and it comes back, and then it just stops. So that way I don't have to deal with the stop. So as long as that is activated by the flying machine, it should work. So that's about it, I guess. Which now brings me to showcase to you the Obermeister, or basically the grand opus of this entire thing. And I'm proud I built this. My only regret is putting it on the ground. That was this is the only regret I'm on. I was envisioning the panda sanctuary here, but again, maybe I should have never have done that. I should have just put this on the top so I could see what's happening. I guess that's one regret I'm gonna have to deal with. Man, sometimes when you build something, you don't know when you finish it. You sometimes regret later on. It's like, why did I build it underground? It should have been like exposed. Oh well, I mean, it works. It's just I can't see it. So yeah, see the redstone chaos here. So see, the flying machine's right there. You can practically see it. Now there are several switches I need to activate for this to work. So let's activate the first one. That activates the first flying machine. Let's activate this one to activate the second flying machine. And let me show you that they're working. And here it... See? I mean, it took me weeks to make this, by the way. And I'm proud that I figured this one out on how to build in the survival world. And I'm so happy it worked. You have no idea how many trials and errors I have to deal with for this. I mean... Mumbo Jumbo and other redstoners made it look easy, honestly, but in reality I can tell the struggle. Experiencing this myself, it is a struggle to make a redstone, but when you finish, mwah, fantastic. Yep, you saw the rails there, it was working, and yep, did not use any redstone that much. Lots of switches for those rails to work. And then let's activate next this one. You've already seen this, so basically the same concept. Just activate the observers, and look at that, lots and lots of bamboo coming out of the door. Now this is split because one is just taking that, and then there's another section at the last floor here that basically turns them into planks. So I believe one of them is activated right now. Let me turn this off. Again, it's noisy, by the way. If you notice there's no sound here, it's because I've turned off all sounds. I've actually deleted the sounds, and for us to actually see this properly. If I put in the exact sound effects of this thing, you wouldn't hear me at all, because you'll be hearing a lot of not a good idea for a video. Let's turn this back on and you will see planks galore. Oh man, amazing, isn't it? Redstone. Jeez. Okay, let's just keep that on, that way the item still continues. And then let's turn off everything else. So yeah, there was a lot of improvements needed to be done here, but it gives me an idea how this works, honestly. So yeah, hopefully in the future when I do a new series, I'll improve this even more. I really don't like the idea of watching other people's videos just to copy and paste it. I'd rather build this on my own, but at the same time I do acknowledge that I don't have the knowledge enough for building things. So yeah, I would get the idea, and then but I'll do things myself. Anyways, everyone, again, thank you very much for this wonderful journey. I've learned so much for the last 20 episodes of this series, and it's sad I'm ending this now, but trying to revamp myself this year just so I can be more focused, less stress in building stuff or getting some ideas in. So the next series will be probably a lot more shorter in terms of episodes, just so I don't stress myself out in terms of building things and doing stuff. So but yeah, just looking at this, honestly, this really overwhelming feeling right now that you're seeing this and you know you're not coming back here, you're never gonna see this again. You've done a lot of things in this world, you've learned so much, but sometimes a finale is needed to refresh your mind, to, you know, turning things in a new leaf, if you will. So there's gonna be big plans this year, and I've already started recording that new series. Hopefully it will be out soon, but don't expect high grade episodes. I plan to do things a little more slower, that way I don't burn out on these things. I'd rather not deal with the burnout again. Between real life stuff and YouTubing and other stuff in my end, it's really difficult. But alas, before we end things off, I would like to say thank you everyone for watching this series. And it's been such an experience. And hopefully, for now, ciao.